Welcome to this series of Eden Talk, where we are reviewing the book Adventist Home. A number of presentations have been put together. Hope you find them beneficial. Stay tuned in and enjoy this presentation.
In a world where materialism often reigns supreme, where the pursuit of wealth can easily overshadow our spiritual priorities, Chapters 60 to 65 of the book Adventist Home explores the complexities of budgeting, tithing, and charitable giving, leading the reader to discover the joy and fulfillment that come from aligning financial decisions with their deepest values and beliefs. The author prompts us to consider challenging questions such as how do we balance the demands of material provisions with the call to save others, and what role does faith play in our financial decision-making? We are invited to reassess our relationship with money, to recognize that it is not merely a tool for personal gain, but a sacred trust from a loving Creator. The concept of stewardship is not just about managing our finances. It is about recognizing that every aspect of our lives, including our possessions, talent, time, and money, is entrusted to us by God and to be used according to His direction. This principle is echoed throughout Scripture, notably the prayer of Jabez. Despite the necessity of personal effort required for one to accumulate wealth, Jabez understood that the true provision of financial resources comes from God, and he turned to God for direction. Christians and Christian homes are encouraged to commit themselves to using their resources in a way that honors Christ and advances the kingdom, for we are stewards of God, until death tears us apart. Common is this story. It's tearing up nations, homes, and families, mainly because the principles applied in the use of money, no matter how much we are afforded, are not centered in God's principles. Money is not necessarily a curse, nor is poverty a sign of closeness to God. The challenge is on how we use and appropriate our money. In the book of Luke 12, Jesus tells the story of a wealthy man whose land yielded abundant harvest. Instead of recognizing this as a blessing from God and using it wisely, the rich man was consumed with a desire for more, and he became ensnared by greed. He planned to hoard his wealth, and this led to spiritual bankruptcy. When we love God supremely, temporal things will occupy their right place in our hearts and affections. Our families, businesses, and communities will flourish. God's mission will advance, and debt will not be our portion. As we navigate the complexities of financial management, we are encouraged to cultivate a spirit of contentment, generosity, and a deep trust in God's provision. By so doing, we not only safeguard ourselves from financial bankruptcy, but also align our lives with values of God's kingdom, where our riches are found, besides whose money is it anyway. Money constantly tests our affections. This challenge points to the ongoing struggle we face in managing our relationship with wealth. Money does not change people, it exposes their character. It acts as a mirror, revealing our true values, priorities, and moral integrity. It unveils the depths of our character, showing whether we are driven by greed or guided by principles of stewardship and generosity. Let me repeat, money is not necessarily a curse. It is a tool, a means of exchange that holds true value in the context of how it is used. When God has blessed us, which He does always and often, economy is to be practiced in our dealings. The home must be centered on Christian values, priorities, and principles of stewardship. This approach enables men and their children to have a good relationship. The wife is to be afforded a personal allowance in order to foster a sense of independence. and children are not to be overindulged at the expense of mission. With this insight, the question is, how do we then invest our money? When a Christian has established whose money is it anyway, it becomes important to explore ways to honor God and to contribute in the advancement of His kingdom. You may then be compelled to ask, how can I achieve this? By using your money and your talents to support initiatives that promote spiritual growth, such as missionary work, evangelism, and humanitarian aid. These actions call for sacrificial giving, where we prioritize the needs of others and above our own comfort and conveniences. These principles must be taught and harnessed at home through prayer, daily devotions with family, reading the Bible. Christ will enlighten us on how to spend His money, and surely He will afford us the resources that He needs for His mission. In summary, every Christian must consider these things. Whatever we do with the money and the resources that God has afforded us, we should ask ourselves, is God in it? Does it glorify God? Does it reflect to your true beliefs and values? Does it advance God's mission? And are you imparting values that will make your family to become in good standing with God? As we embark on the journey of stewardship and financial freedom, let us remember the words of Jesus. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Matthew 6:21. May our hearts be firmly rooted in God's kingdom as we faithfully steward the blessings that God has bestowed on us. Thank you.